All right, so with this one, um, we're gonna use that trick with the smart object, kind of like an action result. With this one, you'll probably be taking portrait photos, and then we're gonna do kind of like an abstract designer edit for the one, and then you should be able to replace each photo and do the kind of the same edit for all of them. So what you're going to first start out with is we need to make this a smart object. So you're going to open up your first photograph, and you're going to should come in like this with a background that's locked. Right click on the background, and then we want to convert to smart object. And then so it should look like this. And from there we want to duplicate it. So we're going to hit Control J, and then I'm going to show you, we're going to turn that top layer off, and then from here we're going to make a new layer. So you can see where my cursor is at. You click on that. So after we highlight the bottom layer, we make a new layer right above it. So our layers palette should look something like this. And then what we're going to want to do is we are actually going to want to make like a bullseye type look, like a target. So in order to do that, we're going to click over here on our rectangular marquee tool. We're going to hold it down, and then we are going to click on the elliptical one. So we're going to click right there, and then holding Shift and Alt at the same time on your keyboard, you're going to drag. So click and drag, and then you're going to make a perfect circle, something like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit D on our keypad, so it's black and white. Then we're going to hit X, so black is in the background swatch, and then we're going to hit Control Backspace on your keyboard, and that will fill with your background swatch. And then you can hit Control. Actually, nope. From here, we're going to go to Select. We're going to go to Transform Selection, and holding Shift and Alt at the same time, I click in the corner. You can see where my cursor is at, and drag inward. We want to make some sort of ring. So from here, we're going to hit Enter. And then we're going to hit Control X, and we're going to hit Control V. And it should paste it about right there. And then we're going to click on the Move tool. It's the top one on your left. And then you're going to want to move it as close as you can, kind of in that center. And then we're going to hit Control T, and then holding Shift and Alt at the same time, we're going to drag it inward a little bit. And then we're going to hit Enter. And then we're going to hold Control on the keyboard, and we are going to click on the thumbnail of that layer. So if you can see where my cursor is at, so click on the thumbnail of that, should make a selection. Then we're going to go back to Select, Transform Selection. And then from here, we're going to hold Shift and Alt again, making another ring. And we want to hit Enter, and then hit Control X to cut it, then Control V to paste it. And we are going to want to kind of move it close as we can back to where it was. And then we're going to hit Control T. And we are going to hold Shift and Alt again. And we are going to, so we should end up with some sort of ring like that. So now we have our target. We can actually turn these off. So we have that. And then from here, what we're going to do, we're going to highlight, and then we want to click on the fill adjustment layer right here, and we're going to go to almost the very top, gradient. We're going to click on that. And then we're going to click right here where my cursor is at, right where you see that gradient. And we want to go to the top left if it's not there already. And then we were going to change this color. So we're going to double click right here where my cursor's at. And we want to change that to be, now you can use any colors that you want, but for if you want to use these ones, you can. But if you want to use these ones, it's going to be C4, C1, D2. I'll let you go ahead and kind of catch up right there. And then once you have that, you're going to hit OK. And then we're going to double click on the next one over. And that one's going to be 6 Fs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It should be white. And once you have that, go ahead and hit OK. Then we're going to hit OK right here. We can change the style from linear to radial. And then we can change the angle. We can leave it 90. The scale is going to depend on the size of your photograph. I would say for this one, it's probably okay at 100. We want it to kind of like fade out near the edges. Can maybe make it a little bit bigger if you wanted, like 125 or 150. But it's going to depend on the size of your image. Now, if it's going from white to the gray, hit reverse. So it goes from the gray to the white. Then we're going to go ahead and hit OK. We're going to actually move this below that layer. And then we are going to pick this up in part 2.